Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Washington Business Connections Business Spotlight interview. And today I'm talking with Sharon Emerson with Cruise and Tour Planners. Hello there, Sharon.
Hi, Mark. It's good to see you today.
Hey, good to see you as well. And so tell us about your business. How did you get started in the travel industry? Did you always want to be a travel agent?
Well, in 1996, my husband and I sold two businesses. We left town, went on a road trip for 2 months, and when I came home, I had nothing to do. So I decided to go to a local community college and took 2 years of travel classes. When I came out, I went to work for one agency for 2 years and then another one, a bigger one, for 8 years. But in 2003, the airlines quit paying us commission, and that's where we were making all our money. So a lot of the brick and mortar agencies closed. I moved home and started my own company. At that point, I had 1,700 clients. And looking back, I should have been doing this all of my life. I was a natural at understanding the industry. It's huge and it's very intense, but it has allowed me to travel the world and to help hundreds of people do the same thing.
Excellent. Now, what makes you guys stand out there at Cruise and Tour Planners?
Well, the main reason I'm successful, that a lot of my clients tell me, is because they're surprised at how fast I answer their calls or their emails. So I try to respond to them like I would like to be treated, and that's, I think, how come I'm more successful.
Excellent. And you know, it is a pretty competitive business, the travel industry, isn't it?
Yes, and with the advent of the internet now, travel bookings have become more difficult in the last 8 years. First of all, people were afraid to put their credit cards online, but now they're really comfortable and they find it's easy. But that being said, there's still a huge need for travel agents. Many of those internet sites are bogus, and even if you think you're buying something, what you really get at the end isn't what you thought you were going to get. So you still need a personal service, somebody to hold your hands from the beginning of your trip to the end. You're dealing with a lot of different entities, such as airlines, heaven help us all, and cruise lines, and hotels, and resorts, and tour operators, and all kinds of things can happen. Many times you don't even know what we've done in the background to keep your trip on track. So you need us.
Oh, so true. I definitely agree with that. Now, tell us about your specialties.
Okay, some travel agents do special. That's okay for one trip, but what if that client comes back and they want something else that you don't specialize in? The way I operate is every phone call, every email is a learning experience. And after all these years of being in the business, I pretty much I've done it all. So I know what people need and how to do it and how to help them. So cruises are a big one for me. Of course, they are big for travel right now. But to be qualified to sell travel, I have the highest certification in the cruise industry. And a lot of people don't know that there is a certification. So that means I know all the cruise lines, all the destinations, all the ships. And with that knowledge, I can qualify you for what will be a great experience.
Oh, that's great. And so tell us what people can expect when they reach out to contact you there at Cruise and Tour Planners.
Well, the first time a person calls or emails me and they're brand new, I'll find out what they want, qualify them for what they think they want, whether it's a cruise, a tour, a package, resort, keeping in mind, trying to get into their mind and see what they're thinking about on this trip. For some travel planning, I have a professional fee, depending on the amount of work that needs to be done to create this trip. And I tell them that information. Then at that point, they can say no, or they can give me their credit card, and then I go to work. Most of the time, I'm back to them within 24 hours, and we just have to tweak it a little bit to make it fit what they really want. And
Oh, great. And can you just give us a few tips on for people who want to plan a trip?
well, the biggest thing that people know about is geography. And there's different hemispheres. This isn't taught in the schools anymore. So you have to know the weather and the different places that the weather changes, and when is a good time to go, when is the best time with kids or without kids. Normally you book 6 to 9 months in advance. So geography is very important um, in knowing where you want to go. And the last thing I probably would say is there's a lot of ways to see this world, but they're not all right for you. So just because Uncle Joe did or a neighbor Sue went a particular way doesn't mean that you should go that way. And without a travel professional, you're on your own, and that can be expensive and uncomfortable.
Absolutely, it sure can. So how can people get in touch with you, Sharon?
Well, I have a website, Cruise and Tour Planners. It's on my sign there. I have another website that is besttripplanner.org, where I've written a lot of blogs about different places in the world. And if they want to send me an email, which they can through the website, I'll give you some packing tips that I've learned over the 20 years of travel.
Oh, that's excellent. That's great information. Hey, thanks again, Sharon, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us today on this Washington Business Connections Business Spotlight interview. I'm Mark Jovan, and we'll see you next time.